Hello and welcome to Americans Learn. My name is Lauren and today I'm going to be watching a video from Spectrum. This one is called The 10 Longest Ruling Byzantine Emperors. Usually Kit does the Spectrum videos, but this was suggested under a video I did and didn't request Kit do it. So I took that to mean I was the one that they want to do it. I am thinking that's totally fine. It's been a while since I've done like a history video. I've been doing a lot more like animal videos and science videos and music. So this will be interesting for me. It's been a minute since I've done much history. So hopefully y'all enjoy. And if you want me to do more stuff like this, go ahead and let me know in the comments below and by liking the video. That will definitely let me know that you want me to look at more history stuff. I have absolutely no problem doing it. I enjoy learning about history. It used to be one of my very favorite subjects in school, so let's see if we can't rekindle that. Let's begin.
In my video regarding the longest ruling Roman emperors, I said quite a few Byzantine emperors would have been on the list had they been considered. In fact, the Byzantine emperors would essentially completely dominate the list, occupying 9 out of the 10 available slots.
Dang.
So I thought, alright,
Give them their own
let's
list then.
make a video for the Byzantines. And thus, here we are.
Equal opportunity,
Number 10,
love it.
Constantine V, 34 years, 2 months and 27 days. Ruling during the 700s, Constantine V's
Oh,
legacy
damn, and this is number 10, so 34 years is the shortest of these long reigns. That's not, wow. Okay.
is that of a very capable ruler, both in administration as well as military affairs, though not without his flaws, among them being overly autocratic and uncompromising, though this has to be taken with a grain of salt, as he is judged by generations of Orthodox historians, and he was, you guessed it, an iconoclast. If we focus on the concrete, however...
Okay, so that'll kind of do it. Oh, I recognize that symbol. Why do I recognize that symbol? It's like a rune, right? And it's one of those, like, it's part of an alphabet that it's like, this is a letter, and then you put the dots in to add different, like, it keeps going on. I don't remember the exact, I don't remember it, but I remember seeing it. I've used it before in something, in like a game or something. It was part of like a puzzle you had to solve. Anyway, not the point of what we were discussing. I was going to say, history is written by, the victors, and, oftentimes it's written by people who hate you. So people hated him and were like, and put him in a bad light because I didn't like him. So maybe he did have authoritarian mind, like, aspects to him, though. I don't know.
What we see is an emperor who concentrated on the empire's core territories and on the state's strength, leaving behind a strong financial position and a capable army. So, make no mistake about it, this guy was a success. Number 9, Manuel II, 34 years, 4 months and 5 days. The third to last Byzantine emperor, Manuel II ruled the Byzantine Empire that was, by all purposes, on its death door. Reduced to a few enclaves scattered around Thrace, Macedonia, the Peloponnese, and the Mediterranean, it stood little chance against its belligerent Ottoman foes. To his credit, Manuel II was able to take advantage of the Ottoman defeat suffered at the Battle of Ankara against Timur, securing some land as well as Thessalonica.
Good for him.
Manuel II was a very busy man, constantly looking for Western alliances against the Ottomans. That was the best he could do, considering how weakened the empire was at that point. Number 8, Alexius I, 34 years, 4 months and 14 days.
37 years. He just got used to saying 34 years.
The founder of the Achaemenid dynasty, Alexius I came into the throne at a time of turmoil. The Byzantine Empire had lost its traditional heartland of Anatolia against the Seljuks, an all too real of a threat. The Normans were invading Greece, and soon enough, Western armies were marching through his lands unopposed, some actively stripping the land bare.
Did Westerners take this like halo thing from the Byzantine or like from this area of the world? Because it's like, I know that like a lot of older Western art with their historic heroic figures, with their religious figures, always has like that halo around it. So I'm just wondering if they stole it from these guys.
Despite all of this, he managed to stabilize the Byzantine Empire. getting some of its
Okay.
lost lands back even, and beginning a
him.
period called the Comnenian Restoration. This was achieved
That sounds
largely
familiar.
through the use of diplomacy, co-option of the Byzantine elites, as well as some needed monetary reforms, as he discontinued the, by then, debased solidus and establishing the hyperpyron. Number 7. Manuel I. 37 years, 5 months, and 16 days. Often
It is funny that we're like going all the way through to days on these guys. It's like some of them have been really, really close, but it's like, oh, we know the exact. It's also impressive that considering how long ago some of this happened, we have the exact dates, even now today. We know exactly when they started, when they ended. Like the record keeping must have been immaculate.
called the Great, Manuel I's reign saw a period of several military successes and a cultural revival.
Okay.
In fact, his reign
He would be played by, I'm trying to think who he would be played by. He's hot. So he would be played by, I don't know. Who do you think would play him? He looks like somebody familiar to me and I'm not able to quite place it. So if you think about who he looks like, let me know.
cultural revival. In fact, his reign is often considered
I mean, and look at the difference between that guy and like these dopey looking dudes. They look so dumb. He looked much better.
to be a high mark of the previously mentioned Comnenian Restoration. It's not difficult to see why, seeing as, at a point, the Byzantine Empire even established a presence in the Holy Land under him. However, though he's seen by contemporaries as a great emperor, his legacy has been called into question by modern historians, seeing as Byzantine power declined drastically after his death. It is generally thought his reign, while glorious, ultimately depleted the empire's resources. Number 6. Justinian the Great.
I feel like that's kind of a thing that's sort of happening now. Like things are, like the resources are, we're watching as the resources are getting depleted. And then you've got people putting things into place, policies into place that are, it's like, okay, but like, what about in 20 years? You'll be dead, but like people will still be having to deal with this. And now you've ruined, anyway.
38 years, 7 months,
Justinian!
and 13 days.
I know about him.
If there's any Byzantine emperor that's easily recognizable, it's Justinian.
I like this mosaic. This is really cool. I like it a lot. The art has been so cool. I do like the art of this, like from the Byzantine Empire. I've always thought it was really, really interesting, and they've managed to just do such cool stuff with it. And especially it's like a lot of other art like that I've seen from similar time periods. It's just like, it's so flat and dimensionless. And like, look here, he's got highlights. Like they've done, and like they're using tiles, and they've managed to give him like actual like highlights under his nose, under his eyes, like shadows. It's so amazing what they've managed to do with tile. And then you've got like other like paintings, and it's like people doing this, and this is supposed to be an attractive look, and it's like it's just flat and expressionless, and anyway, sorry. Not to make this about art.
Ironically, in the big picture of things, he shares quite a few parallels with the previous emperor, as Justinian also led through a period of restoration, with constant campaigns that also deprived the empire of resources, leading to it declining in power drastically almost immediately after the emperor's death. That assessment might be a little harsh. After all, Justinian's reign was not only marked by war, but with several natural disasters as well, one of whom was so bad it very likely caused major crop failures throughout the entire planet, as well as the first outbreak of the bubonic plague.
The entire planet? I mean, 500s or whatever, right? So it's like, but like, actual entire planet, or just... That's wild. I want to research that.
Say 536 was not a good year to be alive. Besides that, we have all the reforms, all the building projects.
Oh my god, it looks like a baby. Oh, I don't love that.
And all the conquest. Under Justinian, the Byzantine Empire reached its maximum extension. And, well, that's gotta count for something. Number 5, Theodosius II. 42 years, 2 months, and 27 days.
Holy shit.
The Theodosian walls were named after him. His reign is highly unusual, seeing as those in power throughout his reign was initially his sister Pulcheria, and then himself, not to mention his other sisters. It must have been a very weird time, given usually it was the generals who took the reins of the empire. But in his reign, nope, a bunch of teenagers. Meanwhile, the West was falling apart. The best thing about Theodosius was his marriage. His sister Pulcheria spent a long time searching for the right woman, and she found the right one. And Theodosius was very happy with her sister's choice. Why? Because she was hot, and that's all he wanted.
Yeah, fair.
P.S. This.
I mean, you know what? If she wanted to actually be like, if the sisters were kind of sort of the power behind the throne here, it's like, you know what? He'll be distracted by a hot face and some boobs for a little while. We can do some work. Great. It's like, she's like, I got you, bro. She's gonna be the sexiest thing you've ever seen in your life. I got you.
Story may not actually be true.
I hope it is.
Number 4, Andronicus II.
Good job. I love a wingman. I love her helping out. And I love the fact that they ran the world together as a family.
45 years, 5 months, and 13 days. A long reign for sure, but not one I can say was glorious. Plagued by economic difficulties, a declining...
I mean, he's got a vagina hat on, so...
currency, God knows how many wars, lost territories, and a failure in securing Western allies, his reign was a period of decline, really. More depressingly for Andronicus II, he was eventually forced to abdicate and retire to a monastery.
Dang. But still, after 45 years?
Number 3, Constantine VII. 46 years, 5 months, and 3 days. Ruling with quite a few co-emperors, Constantine VII is mostly known for the Geoponica, a work of 20 books on agriculture he commissioned.
I think I've heard of that.
Might be a little weird, but Constantine VII was a scholar, and strongly emphasized the importance of studies. As an emperor, his most solid decisions were the establishment of diplomatic relationships with several foreign courts and the restitution of all peasant lands, the latter of which was a massive positive, as it greatly strengthened the economic and military foundations of the empire.
Good for
Number
you.
2, John V. 49 years, 8 months, and 1 day. Out of all the emperors on this list, probably the one with the most tumultuous reign.
I mean,
as it began with an immediate civil war,
yeah.
followed by the devastation of Constantinople with the Black Death. And that's just
shit. Oh, that's not the one you want to be, is it? The fall. It's like the fall of Constantinople is huge, and it's like that's the thing my reign is known for. The fall of Constantinople. Great, I did good.
First 8 years, the chaos would continue with
Wallachia. Every single time I see Wallachia, I'm like, I keep forgetting that it was a real. It was real. I'm like, Wallachia was invented for Dracula stories, you know. Romania, but Wallachia. I keep forgetting that was a real place.
Civil War, one that he started, mind you. Also, throughout his reign, the Ottomans acquired their first piece of European land, and, spoiler warning, wouldn't let go. John V was eventually deposed by his grandson, but he quickly reinstated himself back in power. When he finally died, the Ottomans were clearly the preeminent power in the area. He would not be missed. Number 1, Basil II, 49 years, 11 months, and 5 days. With his nickname being the Bulgar Slayer, Basil II is, understandably, a national hero in Greece and completely despised in Bulgaria.
Yep, makes
the
sense.
victory over the Bulgarians was Basil II's most notable achievement, but in truth, there's a lot more to his reign.
I went to Boyar. Like, I think that's what I was thinking. But like Bulgar makes sense that Bulgarians, never heard of a Bulgarian talked of as a Bulgar before. I really hope that's not racist. Like, I hope not. If it is, I'm sorry. Let me know. But everyone I've known from Bulgaria has called themselves Bulgarian. So I don't know. Anyway, yikes. I don't want to be... okay, so he just killed a lot of Bulgarians then.
From consolidating power by winning 2 civil wars, to defeating the Bulgarians, to bringing Armenia back to the imperial fold, forming an alliance with the Rus, founding the Varangian Guard and more, Basil II is a legendary figure in Byzantine history and, at least in my opinion, the best emperor Byzantium ever had.
Oh, really?
And that's the list.
I don't know.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, and if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, by all means do so. I'd really appreciate it. This was Spectrum, and I'll see you around.
All right, thank you, Spectrum. I did find that interesting. It was certainly different than a lot of the other videos that I have watched over the course of this channel. But I found that okay. I did like it though. So thank you again for suggesting it. I can't imagine doing anything for 49 years, but that's because I haven't even, I mean, I'll get there eventually, probably one day in the future. I'll have been living for 49 years, hopefully. Hope we get there. But wow, that's crazy. And it's like also it's one of those things, it's like the longest I've ever worked at a job is like 4 years. So it's like I usually end up like going to a different restaurant after a while. Anyway, amazing, interesting. If you want me to watch more stuff like that, go ahead and let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.